Hey YouTube, Dan Ottawa here, the best third/fourth tier Pokemon Go battler in the world, and we are coming at you with Sinnoh Cup rankings and teams. So how this works, if you're new to this channel, is first I go over the PVPoke top 20 ranking Pokemon, kind of tell you why they're in the top 20, and then I give you 5 teams that you can use and how to use them. So let's start with the info. It's right below me. Great League and the Sinnoh Cup, January 10th to 24th. So before I get into the rankings, I have something very important I want to talk about with this. And that is the Pokemon that are going to be used and the what I think is going to be a very rock, paper, scissors type event. So here are my Pokemon. I have been doing GBL since season 1, and I invest heavily in Pokemon for battling. I don't really care about getting Pokemon to level 50 or anything. I really care about getting the best Pokemon I can for GBL. So here are my Sinnoh CP 0 to 1500, the ones that have built up. So the ones that are actually usable are Toxicroak, Frostlass, Bastiodon, Probopass, Drifblim, Abomasnow, Roserade, Empoleon, Stunfisk to a certain extent there, Gliscor, and Cresselia. 11 Pokemon. In 10 seasons, I have 11 Pokemon that I can theoretically use right now for the Sinnoh Cup. And I'm going to link Ryan Swag's video below about the different meta. It is very much like you have your Bastion Probopass as your steals that lose to fighting, which is your Toxicroak. Your Toxicroak is going to lose to your Frostlass, and your Frostlass is going to lose to your Bastiodon. It is very much a rock, paper, scissors event. It's going to rely a lot on lead. So what I think is going to happen is I think everyone is going to play this in the first 3 to 4 days because it is a new cup. Everyone's excited to do this for the first time. But then what's going to happen is they're going to realize I have limited Pokemon. This is a very rock, paper, scissors type event. Why am I doing this when the Great League is on? So I think people are going to play hard for the first 3 days, realize it's not fun, and go to the Great League. That's my guess. So if you want to try this out, I would suggest trying it out in the first few days because I think as you get into next week, a lot more people will be playing Great League over this cup. So keep that in mind. But let us now get into the top 20 PVPoke ranks. So PVPoke ranks, Lucario is number 1. I disagree with it. I think it's number 1 because it allows it. The analysis goes based on they successfully call a bait, right? They don't call a bait. You do successfully bait. So I think with a power punch as the first move there, this saying like, oh, they're always going to shield the power punch and then you're going to get the shadow ball off. So I don't totally agree with this. Why Lucario is still good though is because you have your steals and everything, your Bastiodon that you can just counter down. But you also have that shadow ball coverage, and that shadow ball coverage is huge for your Frostlass, that's huge for Cresselia, Drifblim, right? So it's got a ton of play. Gallades there too. So it has a ton of play overall. Bastiodon, you know what you're going to get with Bastiodon. You're going to wall a bunch of things and you're going to get destroyed by your fighters and your Gastrodon. So that's what it does. Pikachu, I'm not even going to cover it now that a ton of people have it. Gastrodon is going to be your main answer to Bastiodon. And it is, I think it looks half water, half ground perhaps. I don't know its full typing. You can go check that up. Either way, it is going to absolutely wall Bastiodon that you can just go Mud Slap all the way down. Mud Slap is a harder hitting move, slower generating move than Mud Slap, but harder hitting. So you're just going to Mud Shot Bastiodon all the way down and come out with energy, body slams, and Earth Power there. So nice coverage. But again, you will just get lit up by like Abomasnow is one of the hardest counters to Gastrodon, right? And that's next because Abomasnow will rip that apart quite quickly, and it charges pretty quick. So you have like pretty much wider coverage all around here. You can kind of just hit. In most situations, you have at least one neutral move to throw. That's why Abomasnow's there. Frostlass again is one of the best safe swaps. I don't know about this because you could just get walled literally by Bastiodon. But Frostlass has been one of the best safe swaps in a lot of leagues. Just charges super fast. You do have the Shadow Ball for neutral damage there. And Ice will cover a few things here like the Flyers and Drifblim and then Gliscor. And there's a couple others that are covered as well. So that's why it's there. Drapion, 8 and 17. Nice. You're still a safe swap that you can get ahead on. You're running Aqua Tail on this. So if you have one and you have Sludge on it, remove it for Aqua Tail because there's pretty much no, I don't want to say there's no because there is Togekiss, but there's very, very little Fairy and there's a lot of Bastiodon and walls that need Octail. So that's that. Toxicroak, I like Toxicroak in this because you counters and mud bombs are great for the steals, and even in like neutral matchups against other fighters, you probably have an advantage there. Munchlax again is going to act as like a safe swap. Kind of think of it as like a Drapion. Crest is like a bulky safe swap where you can hit like Grass Knot in a lot of neutral situations too. Used as a tank overall. Drifblim I can also use as a safe swap, but kind of nice coverage overall for everything from Lucario to Frostlass. Will be interesting. No, not Frostlass, but like what else does it cover pretty well with the Shadow Balls? Like Cresselia, stuff like that. Empoleon I like as well. It's kind of acting as your steel wall, but unlike the other walls, it could actually throw back pretty hard with the Waterfalls, Hydro Cannon, Drill Peck, so that's important to have. Licklicky, think of it as Munchlax, Drapion as your safe swaps. Magnezone is going to be like, it's going to be interesting because you have the Wild Charge Nuke, which will do great against a lot of these Pokemon. Like, think any neutral situation, you don't want to take a Wild Charge from Magnezone. Mirror Shot, nice coverage for like Abomasnow, stuff like that, but obviously you do have your limitations. There's not like a ton of pure Pokemon that can resist the Wild Charge. I'm kind of just looking at the list here. There's not a ton that just like purely resist the Wild Charge, so it's nice to have in those situations, but Magnezone is going to be very, very glassy in this league. It's a glass cannon, so use it as a glass cannon. Glade is a nice answer to your fighters. Like, it's a great answer to Toxicroak and everything. And having the close combat for Bastiodon and a Leaf Blade for Gastrodon is a nice combo there. So Glade will be used as like a core breaker for a lot of people. Gliscor, same thing, like Wing Attack, Night Slash, Earthquake, like pretty much wide coverage overall. Gotta watch for the ice, gotta watch for Bastiodon. But it's got some play. And then Wormadam Trash is another steal that you're using just to wall something like an Abomasnow or these other Pokemon that don't have a move to get past Steel. So 5 teams. Let us go through the teams. And so what I tried to do with these teams is I tried to I was trying to build around one Pokemon, but I tried to get as many different Pokemon on this sheet as possible, just because, again, I only have 11 Pokemon. You may have a lot less than 11, so I'm just going to try and throw out a bunch of different teams. You can obviously like try and replace, like just go to PVPoke and throw in like whatever Pokemon you have, build around one, see what its weaknesses are, stuff like that. So I started with Toxicroak because, like I said, I do think it's got strong play. Like Bastiodon, Lucario, right off the top, you get that. And in a lot of neutral situations, you can just like punch and counter and mud bomb there. And have Sludges is an okay coverage move there. So you got a lot of wins. Obviously, Drifblim, and then all your confusion. You can just Bronzong, Gallade are your weaknesses. So I was looking for things that deal with that. And the Bastiodon filled a lot of those weaknesses there. And then I was looking for some sort of safe swap and also to fill in the blanks there with like Gastrodon, and Drifblim was sort of like, again, Drifblim's like a poor man's Frostlass. I like to call it. It's a strong Pokemon. Frostlass I think is better overall, but Drifblim definitely has a lot of play in this. Covering the Gastrodon, hard win there, and hard win against Toxicroak are 2 things right there. So that is team number 1. Let's go to team number 2. And team number 2, I call this my all safe swap team because it's Empoleon, Cresselia, and Frostlass. And as you can see on the screen, there's only one filled in circle, and that's Frostlass against Bastiodon. The rest of these Pokemon, there's wins and losses, but these Pokemon do not have a ton of like super hard losses. They can hang in most of the matchups. They're either super tanky like Crest, they hit super hard and fast like Frostlass, or Empoleon, same thing with the Waterfalls, and coverage move with the Drill Peck. Right, so I think this is the team I'm going to try first, quite honestly, because I just like the safety in a lot of these that you can just kind of maneuver around, and I like the bulk in Crest. So I'm probably going to try this team first. Obviously, you still have some weaknesses, like Bastiodon's a clear weakness right there. Even if Empoleon's not an amazing matchup against Bastiodon, but it's a winnable one. Plus, Crest can stay in there, I think. There's definitely some holes, like Magnezone, you got 3 across there, but I think you can, again, stay in it. So yeah, I'm excited to try it out, but how this will work is I will start with this team, and then if I'm seeing like too many Magna Zones or something, or too many like a Pokemon that just walls the team, then I will switch it up, and then I will hopefully showcase that for you tomorrow. So team number 3, I built around Lucario because it's top rank. The thing is, I have a lot of hatched. Blanking on the baby name right now, but to get the Lucario, all of them go over 1500 CP. So unless you got one from like a trade, or I don't know how you get, like Lucario's gonna be, I don't think Lucario's gonna be as present in there unless you somehow got a lower one. But I built around it as like the main fighter there. Look at, you have like everything from Crest, because the Shadow Ball, all Empoleon, Licklicky, Magnezone, or all Drapion, like all weak to fighters, right? So you can just ramp up there. Couple weaknesses, like your Toxicroak, Drifblim, stuff like that. So I covered it sort of with Gallade. Gallade was the first one, even though it's listed last, to cover some of those weaknesses. And then I went through and like missing some in there, so I put in a like Drifblim's weakness there, Togekiss's weakness, and Abomasnow fits the bill. And then I'm like, okay, this is like an ABB style team because Lucario is weak to fighting, right? So having like a Abomasnow as a safe swap is not terrible, because Abomasnow head on energy can be very, very deadly. So I would probably use this as an ABB, Gallade in the lead, Abomasnow as your safe swap to get a head on energy. But even Lucario, the problem is Lucario can get like hurt really hard, really fast, while Abomasnow can still chunk a lot in neutral matchups. So now, where is team number 4 here? Team number 4, we have Gastrodon, Magnezone, Frostlass. Built around Gastrodon because you had the big X for Bastiodon. So if you want your hard to counter Bastion, that's your Gastrodon. Weaknesses, again, anything with grass, so Abomasnow and Crest, because they got the grass type moves. Drifblim still covers as well with an ice type move, I believe. So you need something to answer those, and something to answer those was Magnezone. A lot of X's there, and then Frostlass, I just use the safe swap as Frostlass. Use whatever other, they mentioned a bunch of Frostlass, Abomasnow, I think Crest, like all the safe swaps that you think of were mentioned as like an option for number 3. I put in Frostlass just because it has the widest coverage overall, in my opinion, and its weaknesses are covered by the other 2. So that is why I used that. And the last one is really sort of left field. I was just playing around with this. I can't even run this because I don't have a Drapion. But it's a Drapion, Hippowdon, and Honchkrow. And so I started with Drapion because I'm like, people who have Drapion, they might want to use it. Again, you don't have a hard loss, so that's fine. And then you have a few losses there. I was like, let's just put on Hippowdon. Because it can cover some of those. You still have a few, and then I was playing around. I'm like, okay, let's just see what fills it. And Honchkrow, and I was like, oh, wow, Honchkrow can take out a lot of Pokemon here. Like, look how many hard X's it has there. That was really, really surprised me. Obviously, you need to watch out for Bastion because that walls you, and you're gonna get your Flyer, right? Your Flyer. So Abomasnow and Bastion are gonna wreck you, but and Magnezone with the electric. And Togekiss with the charm, right? So it has its like hard punishes, which is why like if you get in the wrong matchup there, this team is just going to get destroyed. But it's interesting. It's an interesting pick. I'm excited. I don't even know if I have one below that CP either. I don't know if I have any of these Pokemon below CP. Like, I will not be using this team exactly, but it was interesting. If I have one, I may build one up for this. That is it. Those are the teams. Like I said, I'm going to try with the safe swap team for first. Adjust based on if I'm not playing well with it. But I'm limited. I've got 11 Pokemon. I could build up 1 or 2 more. Do I want to spend a ton of dust when Great League is probably one of my best leagues? No, I don't. I'm probably going to just do a few Sinnoh Cups. And then, unless I'm doing very well in this, but I do think it's going to be very rock, paper, scissors. So I'm just going to focus on getting a few teams out for you, trying them out, see what works. What doesn't work, and then probably going to Great League. So if you have a team that does work, I would appreciate it if you send me your battles and the link in my description. I like to showcase around 7 to 10 battles, mix of win and losses. Yeah, so if you have an interesting team or a team that really worked, that you're willing to show the world, or the few thousand that watch my videos anyways, feel free to send in the link below. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Good luck in the cup, and I will see you guys tomorrow with my first team.